Hi there, I'm Evan Lawson. I'm the Artistic Director of Forest Collective, and I'm joined today with our amazing flautist, Kim. Hi, Kim.
Hey, how you going?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good, good.
So we're talking about your video that you've put together for the Forest at Home. Do you want to tell us a little bit about, we're still in lockdown here in Melbourne at the tail end, thankfully, but it has certainly been a long 6 months. What have you been up to musically while you've been stuck indoors?
I've been really grateful to have a few projects ticking over. Obviously, things like performances and stuff like that, and gigs have been postponed. So I haven't had that part of my life over the past 6 months, but I have been lucky to be involved in a couple of projects, some off recordings here and there. Obviously, my teaching's still ticking over, and yeah, I've had a lot to do with the State School Spectacular, which is miraculously, well, not miraculously because it was a lot of hard work, but managed to keep the program going this year, and has just been a really great way to connect with the performing industry and the students and the staff.
It's so good because I have one singing student, and just like talking to him about how classroom music can continue. And I think he's like, oh, we have 10 minutes a week where we like sing a song or something. So it's so good to see a lot of that extracurricular stuff still happening in some way.
Yeah, well, if anything, I've sort of found that I've enjoyed teaching more than ever before, because it's been this renewed appreciation for how meaningful this kind of contact is, and how much music is the kind of glue, the stuff in between us, that binds communities together. So,
Yeah.
even in this isolated period, it's become more important than ever before.
And like the ease of being able to do it from home in a way, like you're not having to schlep, you're not having, you save so much time.
To
Like,
roll out of bed and
yeah,
just
but
sort of
teach the
click
hustle,
on Zoom. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. Well, they've also gotten to know me and the way that I live, and obviously, the times my pets have Zoom stormed my lessons and things like that. They sort of gotten to know my cat and my dog.
I
Yeah,
love that.
it's been kind of good.
It's so good. And tell us a little bit about the piece that you have put together for the Forest at Home.
I've chosen to play Itinerant by Toru Takemitsu. I sort of found, I guess, over the past 6 months that I've been indulging in a little bit of nostalgia, making the most of, doing my own sort of projects and selecting my own repertoire, which is sort of a bit of a luxury sometimes. Um, the piece itself, I haven't played since I was in undergrad, which is nearly 20 years ago. And um, perhaps it was, how would I describe? One of the pieces that I did before we went into lockdown was Debussy's Syrinx. And it only just kind of occurred to me today, the kind of parallels between the two pieces. And they're both explore ideas of loss and aspects of life and mortality that's inherent in the duration of breath. Other things like the way that it just meditatively attends to silence,
Mm,
and becomes this really integrated part of the expression of the work.
mm.
Those kind of aspects, perhaps I was sort of looking for consolation in those kind of things, and perhaps was drawn to it in that way. But it was actually just also a real privilege and delight to be able to indulge this kind of repertoire, where otherwise, being freelance and thrown into sort of contemporary music, you often find yourself invested or thrown outside of your own personal pursuits in the engagement and the commitment to other projects.
Yeah, absolutely. And the joy of, I think, this project of being able to do solo pieces, obviously it's the most convenient way to get everyone engaged in doing a performance, but it's also so interesting to see where everyone goes with it, because it's obviously such a personal experience. Usually Forest is co-curated, but at the end of the day, I'm sort of calling the shots. It's really nice to just see what people are interested in championing and exploring in their playing.
Yeah, and like I said, it's just been nearly 20 years since I did this kind of repertoire.
Yeah.
And it's not even just like music of the past, but more specifically music of my past,
Yep.
where I was sort of jettisoned into a land of undergrad and high school where, I was still starry-eyed and dreamy about playing the flute. It's kind of really, yeah, such an optimistic mindset to be in when I'm playing it.
Yeah. And I liked what you were saying about touching on the Debussy as well, because it's like, I sort of had this thought of like the flute in French music, which Takemitsu almost is in some ways
Yeah,
a French
absolutely.
music. Like he's almost an extension of it, obviously being a composer from Japan, but heavily influenced by Messiaen. And so it's sort of interesting that you've got like Shrink's, was it Density 2.1 or the piece
Yep,
by
the
Varese?
Varese.
Yeah. And then, of course, Boulez's solo flute music, but Takemitsu wrote lots of flute music, either ensemble or solo. There's
Yep.
sort of a school there, isn't there? Kind of like what the horn is to German music.
Well,
Something about
yeah.
flute.
And yeah, like you say, Takemitsu is very much in the French vernacular. Like, even if you think about the work such as, and then I knew it was Wind
Mm-hmm.
in Towards the Sea, was very much written in with that Debussy language in mind.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, without further ado, as the French may say, we'll have a listen to your performance of the Takemitsu. Thanks, Kim.
Thanks, Evan.